triangle GOA is inscribed in circle L, if measure of angle OGA is 75 and the measure of arc AG is 160, find the measure of arc OA. So the measure of this arc is twice the measure of this inscribed angle. So if this 75, then the measure of this intercepted arc is 150. Then the measure of OG. So since we all know that the one complete revolution is equal to 360 degrees, so that is 360 degrees minus 150 plus 160, and that is equal to 50. Next, the measure of angle GOA. So the measure of this GOA is 1/2 to the measure of its intercepted arc, which is 160. So 1/2 of 160 is equal to 80. Then the measure of angle GAO, that is 1/2 to the measure of its intercepted arc, which is OG. The measure of arc OG is 50. So 1/2 of this is 25. So this is equal to 25. Isosceles triangle CR is inscribed in circle E. If the measure of arc CR is 130, find the measure of angle CER. So since the given triangle is isosceles, this means that the two legs are congruent. Then the opposite angles are also congruent. So the measure of this angle C is equal to the measure of this angle R. And the measure of this intercepted arc is equal to the measure of this intercepted arc. Now, how are we going to get the measure of arc CA and RA? So again, the measure of the one complete revolution is equal to 360. And then 360 minus 130, that is 230 degrees. Then divided by 2, that is 115. So the measure of this arc is 115. Now, what is the measure of angle CER? So the measure of this angle, inscribed angle, is 1/2 to the measure of its intercepted arc, which is 130. So 1/2 of 130 is 65. Then how about the measure of angle ACR? ACR. So again, the inscribed angle is 1/2 to the measure of its intercepted arc. So the 1/2 of 115, that is 57.5. Then measure of ARC. Okay. So the measure of this angle, so 115, its intercepted arc, 1/2 of this is 57.5. Then the measure of arc AC. Okay. Arc AC is equal to 115. Then measure of arc ER is also 115. Line segment DR is a diameter of circle O. If the measure of arc MR is 70, find. Okay. So let us focus first in this figure. So the given number is only the arc MR, which is 70. So again, the measure of the inscribed angle is 1/2 to its intercepted arc. So 70 1/2, that is 35. So that is the measure of this angle. Then next, So one leg of the given triangle is in the diameter. So therefore, the measure of this arc is 180. That is 1/2 of 360. Then another side is 180 minus 70. That is the measure of arc MD or DM. So that is 110. Okay, how about the measure of angle M or DMR? So the hypotenuse leg again is in diameter. So therefore, the angle M is a right angle. And right angle, that is a 90 degree. Then for angle R, so 1/2 of 110, so that is equal to 55. Okay, so what is now the measure of angle RDM? So that is equal to 35. Okay, for B, measure of angle DRM, so that is equal to 55. Then the measure of angle DMR, so that is equal to 90. The measure of arc DM is equal to 110. And the measure of arc RD is equal to 180. Quadrilateral FAIT is inscribed in circle H. If the measure of angle AFT is 75 and the measure of angle FTI is 98, find the measure of angle TIA. Okay, so in quadrilateral, the opposite angles are supplementary. So which means that the sum of their measure is equal to 180 degrees. So the opposite of angle F is the angle I, and the opposite of angle T is angle A. So if they are supplementary, so 180 degrees. So 180 degrees minus 75, and that is equal to 105. And that is the measure of angle I. Okay, for angle A, 180 degrees minus 98, so that is equal to 82 degrees. Rectangle TEAM is inscribed in circle B. If the measure of arc TE is 64 and the measure of angle TEM is 58, find. Okay. So the line segment EM is in diameter, so therefore the measure of this side is 180 degrees, or that is the semicircle. So 180 degrees minus 64, so that is the measure of our EM, which is 116. Okay. So 116, so the opposite arc is also 116, and then this is 64. Then what is the measure of arc EM? EM is equal to 116. The measure of arc MA is 64. Then the measure of arc AE is 116. Then the measure of angle MEA. So 1/2 of 64, that is 32. Then measure of angle TAM. So that is equal to 58.